Everyone thinks toxic relationships are loud, cheating, yelling, manipulation. But the relationships that destroy smart women the most, they don't feel toxic at all. They feel calm. They feel safe. They feel almost right. And that's the problem. Because today, we're talking about two quiet red flags that don't trigger alarms, don't raise suspicion, and don't feel dangerous until you're already emotionally invested. And it gets worse. Because these red flags don't hurt at first, they comfort you. Why this matters. Most women don't end up heartbroken because they ignored obvious warning signs. They end up heartbroken because they trusted something that felt healthy. No chaos, no drama, no emotional explosions. Just a slow, subtle sense of confusion you can't explain. You keep thinking, why do I feel unsure if nothing is wrong? Why do I feel calm but not secure? Why do I feel close but still alone? If you've ever felt that, this video is for you. Because the most dangerous red flags are the ones that don't feel toxic. They feel mature, they feel peaceful, they feel emotionally intelligent. But they predict heartbreak with terrifying accuracy. Why quiet red flags are more dangerous? Let's clear something up. Loud red flags are easy. Your nervous system reacts immediately. Your intuition screams. Your body tightens. But quiet red flags, they don't trigger fear. They trigger hope. They make you rationalize. They make you wait. They make you invest more because nothing feels wrong enough to leave. And that's why smart women stay longer than they should. Not because they're weak, because they're emotionally deep. And emotional depth bonds quickly when something feels safe. So let's talk about the first quiet red flag. Red flag number 1, conditional effort. This is the most misunderstood red flag in modern dating because it looks like effort. He texts you, he listens, he's affectionate, he shows interest, so you think he's trying, he cares, this feels healthy. At first. But pay attention to when the effort shows up. A man with conditional effort is present when life is easy, when he's relaxed, when he's winning, when he's in a good mood, when nothing is required of him. But the moment something becomes inconvenient, something shifts. Not dramatically, not obviously, quietly. How conditional effort shows up. He doesn't disappear. That would be too easy to spot. Instead, he downgrades. Replies take longer, affection becomes inconsistent, plans feel less certain, conversations feel thinner, and you start feeling something strange. You feel like you're asking for too much without actually asking for anything. That's your first internal signal. But instead of listening to it, most women explain it away. He's stressed, he's busy, he's tired, he's going through something. Yes. He is. He's going through life, and this is how he handles it. Why this is a red flag. Here's the truth most people avoid. Men don't reveal character during good weeks. They reveal it during inconvenient ones. Anyone can be emotionally available when things are smooth. The real question is, what happens to his effort when his comfort is threatened? Does it stay steady, or does it become optional? Because stable men don't need perfect conditions to treat you well. They do it because it's who they are. Unstable men do it when it benefits them. Same behavior, completely different motive. The psychology behind conditional effort. Conditional effort creates something dangerous, intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes you get warmth, sometimes you get distance, and the brain bonds harder to inconsistency than stability. That's not love. That's conditioning. Your nervous system stays alert, waiting for the good version of him to return. And the worst part? He still gives just enough effort to keep you hopeful. That's not confusion. That's pacing control. Why women miss this red flag? Because men with conditional effort aren't cruel. They're charming. They apologize well. They explain beautifully. They promise sincerely. And women mistake emotional fluency for emotional responsibility. But awareness without change is just performance. If his effort disappears when life gets uncomfortable, that's not stress, that's a rule. And rules don't change because you love harder. Transition to red flag number 2. Now here's where it gets even more confusing, because the second red flag feels like the opposite of danger. It feels safe. Red flag number 2. Emotional safety without grounding. This red flag hurts more because it feels like love. You feel calm with him, understood, accepted. He listens, he validates, he doesn't judge. There's no chaos, no drama, no emotional explosions. Just an indescribable sense of being off. Not wrong, just unanchored. What this actually looks like: you feel emotionally close but practically alone. You share deep conversations but no real direction. You feel supported emotionally but unsupported structurally. Plans stay vague, commitment stays undefined, the future feels blurry. He says things like, "I'm not going anywhere, I just want us to be happy. I don't like labels, let's not rush." It sounds mature, until months pass and nothing is being built. Why this is so dangerous? Because emotional safety without structure is not security. It's comfort without direction. Men like this are great at listening, great at agreeing, great at emotional support, but terrible at consistency, terrible at decision-making, terrible at long-term responsibility. They feel safe because they don't challenge you, but they don't protect you either. The bonding mismatch. Here's the quiet psychological mismatch. Women bond through emotional safety. Men bond through responsibility. So while you're attaching emotionally, he's just getting comfortable. Comfort is not commitment. It's rest. And rest feels good until you realize nothing is moving forward. Why women stay too long here? Because nothing feels toxic. There's no villain, no explosion, no obvious ending scene, just a slow erosion of certainty. You start asking yourself, why do I feel unsure? Why do I feel like I'm carrying the emotional weight? Why do I feel close but not secure? If you're not broken for feeling that, you're perceptive. Comfort versus compatibility. This is the distinction that changes everything. Comfort is how you make you feel right now. Compatibility is how life feels with him over time. Comfort soothes, compatibility sustains. Most women choose comfort first and assume compatibility will follow. They rarely do. If a relationship feels peaceful but unclear, it's not peaceful, it's paused. The final truth. A grounded man doesn't rush, but he also doesn't drift. He moves slowly, on purpose. The right man won't confuse you. He won't feel like a movie, he'll feel steady. And at first, steady feels boring because chaos trained your brain to expect intensity. But over time, steadiness becomes intoxicating because your nervous system finally rests. Closing message. You don't need a man who understands your emotions. You need a man who is consistent with them. Understanding without consistency is performance. Consistency is character. So choose boring patterns over exciting moments. Choose predictability over passion spikes. Choose the man whose effort doesn't need perfect conditions, because love isn't how deeply you feel, it's how safely you live. Call to action. If this made something click for you, don't subscribe for me. Subscribe for you. So the next time your heart romanticizes the wrong sign, your feed reminds you of the truth. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more psychology that actually protects your heart. This is Brainy Facts.